Okay, let's get the battle started. Johnny Dollar versus Sam Spade.
Just me, or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey everybody, welcome to Late Late Horror Show. I am Dino, of course, as always, coming from you from a new setup, and it will be changing and getting better, and the lighting will be getting better, and all this other stuff. But welcome to the first battle of the Old Time Radio Detectives, Johnny Dollar versus Sam Spade. Do not vote yet, but I see people have voted yet. I should start over because we're going to try to get a debate going here, and I've got some interesting things going on that will add to the show. So we're going to listen to a couple episodes and point out certain things during the show. I'm going to... Vincent White, he said Johnny Dollar has a glass jaw. There's a downside, right? He's always being knocked out in those fisticuffs. But anyways, welcome everybody. Welcome CM. No use for a name. I'm feeling so much better. Thanks for asking. Oh, Blue, hello. Sinead, hello. Edward Stewart, hello. Tracy Asteria, Dean, love it, Dino. Hello. Jerry Drouliard, what's going on? Yeah, this is a little bit more classy. A little bit more classy right now, right? Whatever. Anyways, let's see. Connie Clary, she mentions they both get the job done. Welcome, Ginger. One girly girl. Good to see you. Harry Scott. Vincent White, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. I think that's everybody. What did Kathy say? She also said that both Spade and Dollar are effective. She also said that Dollar travels all over the country, trains, planes, cabs, etc., etc., etc. Black Rose 750 is here. And Aaron is here. What is going on, Aaron? It's been a long time. I know you and your daughter loved listening a while back, so it's good to see you in here again. Definitely. Yeah, thank you guys. The lighting just still isn't perfect, but let's see. I'm making sure that yesterday, you guys, and even now, there's some frames dropping. I don't know why, but it's weird. But anyways, I might have to do some settings fixes, but things will be all right, I think, overnight and everything else. Last night, we had a tornado that left a 2-mile stretch and tore up the land. So last night was out of my hands when it came to the Old Time Radio stream overnight. But I got it going the best I could. It was a hot mess. It was really, really, really a bad night for me, man. Stressful for all of that. But Blue says, how can I support Johnny Squalor? He's a wise guy for the big insurance companies. Ha, ha, ha. Good point. Good point. So these are all points I'm going to bring up. I know that people think... people are in love with Johnny Dollar. Overall, the consensus has always been Johnny Dollar. Johnny Dollar. Bob Bailey is Johnny Dollar. Quintessential Old Time Radio Detective. But there's some other shows I really enjoy a heck of a lot. I'm not going to say more, but at some episodes more. And that goes for Sam Spade, Pat Novak. Rocky Fortune's good. There's a lot of good shows out there. So I think this will be really cool to battle them out every week. Yeah, glad you're okay, Dino. Thanks, Vincent White. Yeah, I'll be joshing. What is going on? Hillman Hung. What is going on? Good to see you and welcome to the chat. Welcome to the first battle of the Old Time Radio Detectives. You decide. You guys will be deciding with the vote above. I would say wait a little bit, but when you feel like you've heard enough and you want to cast your vote, cast your vote. But I'm going to play a 15-minute episode of Johnny Dollar, and stop at certain points to point out certain things about the episode, and the same with Sam Spade. So you're going to get a couple shows in that we're going to kind of like stop and talk about it, stop and, you know what I mean? It's going to be something like that. So you're off base. You did a great job last night considering everything that happened. Trust me, I don't give out compliments easily. Thank you, Blue. I really do appreciate it. It was a mess. But anyways, I got it. I tried my hardest, and I did get it up so that you guys at least got something to listen to all night long. So thankfully. But thunder, man, it was a bad storm. But anyways, yeah, try to hold off on a poll. We're going to get started any minute now, and we are going to hello, Sam Barker. Good to see you. Great to see everyone too. And you guys could also chime in the chat. Kind of talk amongst yourself, like with one Sean Bond. What's going on, one Sean Bond? Good to see you, Sean. Yeah, debate between yourselves in the chat too. If you feel there's something that you like about Johnny Dollar or Sam Spade better, go ahead and debate. Try to convince the other person that Sam Spade's better or Johnny Dollar's better. So whichever. But yeah, this is and again, this is going to be, and I am going to fix, again, my face is blurry on this stream. I do not understand. I think it must be the settings in the OBS. I'm not going to tolerate that no more. I'm a perfectionist, and that is driving me crazy. It's like everything else around it, except my body, like my soul's trying to escape my body. I don't know. And me and Ginger, we were supposed to do Nosferatu 1979 this past Sunday. Was my fault. Family stuff comes up. Families first. I literally got to the Old Time Radio stream in the nick of time. So we pushed it till next week, but that rarely happens. So hopefully we'll be doing every time after that. I got a message from somebody saying, "Are you really doing Clown House?" And I'm curious why he asked. Let's see. Wait, hold on. The writer-director was... Oh, okay. Oh, boy, okay. So now I know why. Clown House. We might have to rethink Clown House. The writer-director was filming XXX encounters with one of the 12-year-old cast members. It's why he went to jail. Oh, that's right, Victor Salva. That's why Scream Factory won't release it. Is it a good idea to promote this film? You know what, Ginger? I think we might have to come up with a different film. I did not. I knew Victor Salva, and I forgot all about that. So we may change that movie. Not this coming one, but next one. We might not do Clown House, but I'll talk to you about that. Anyways, let's get to, yep, family is always first. Yepper. The county I live in is under a thunderstorm warning. I'm just waiting to get here, LOL. So there you go. So yeah, WWM, what is going on? And I certainly don't want, lately her show mess, LOL, you're so wrong. Some 5 minutes of Sherlock Holmes was lost. That's all. Yeah, kind of. But at the start of the second, when I rebooted it up, I think we had a couple minutes of silence. So people are nuts. They'll hit it and they'll go, oh, it's awesome. When all you got to do is wait a minute or two and then it'll start streaming. But anyways, so yeah, I knew that too, but we're not watching it. I get it though. Oh, well, I didn't look like a mess. Okay, and anyways, yeah, no, everything's good. So let's get this started. Let's get the battle. Again, once you think you're set in, go ahead and cast your vote. But let's start off with Johnny Dollar, since he's so popular and he's the guy everybody goes to. The detective show went from 1948 to 1962. I'm just going to do a synopsis here, and then we're going to get into listening to a little bit of it, and then we're going to move to Sam Spade. The freelance investigator with the action-packed expense account. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, was one of the longest-running radio detective shows with 14 years of intrigue and adventure. It was well received and became one of the last dramas on the air when radio interest waned in the 1960s. And you can find every single one of those episodes on the Late Late Horror Show. No need to go anywhere else for your Johnny Dollar. Every single one is right here. So there you go. I think 17 streams in the playlist, 12-hour streams. Johnny Dollar worked for the Universal Adjustment Bureau, flying from Mexico to swamps to California ghost towns. He would recover furs and diamonds for a cut of the goods, bodyguard, wealthy men, and climb into the deathly Skull Canyon. All stories included mystery and murder, slipping listeners into the edge of their seats with teeth clicking on the fingernails. Like most fictional private eyes, Johnny Dollar had a well-developed personal sense of right and wrong, but right usually aligned itself with the interest of his insurance company clients. Not that he ever had a problem working in as many creative elements as he could into the expense account. Johnny narrated the shows as if they were expense accounts sent to his employer. A clever way of narration. It always began expense account, item 1, with him telling about a cab fare, then went on through the airfare, his trip across the country, and so on through the adventure. At the end of the show, he would finish his expense report and sign it. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Nothing was too small for the account, including a nickel for aspirin or the 2 cents that Johnny felt like if he followed a wrong lead, right? The basic premise remained the same throughout the run. Although writers and actors changed through the years, one of the best Johnny Dollars was Bob Bailey. Of course. I've heard it over and over and over again. From 1955 through 1960. At the beginning of Bailey's tenure, radio serial veteran Jack Johnstone produced and directed the program. For a little over a year, beginning in October 1955, the series aired as a 15-minute serial and was broadcast 5 times a week. Good idea, I guess, although I don't like the format. Although these would seem to be shorter programs, the 15-minute format allowed for a week-long story arc. Writers now had 75 minutes of the storytelling time to work with, and the result of this was some of the best drama from the golden age of radio. It later returned to half-hour shows. I get that. 75 minutes to play with an episode. But I don't know. I still like the half-hour episodes. So there you go. That's yours truly, Johnny Dollar. And, of course, we had Dick Powell that played an audition for the part that remains. It is in my playlist. Charles Russell from 1949 to 1950. Edmund O'Brien from 1950-52. John Lund from 1952 to 1954. And Gerald Moore, of course, starred in 1955, one audition episode. Bob Reddick starred in 1960 to 1961. And finally, with Mando Kramer starring from 1961 to 1962. So that is kind of the rundown there of Johnny Dollar and Bob Bailey. Hello, Overkill. Hello, Mark M. Emily. Everybody that I missed. Hey, it's Dave Plouffe. What's going on, my good sir? Good to see you. Overkill's got the cash. Yes, his expense account there. Let's see. From Cleveland, Dino, none of us can handle compliments. Oh, God. Okay. So many fans Johnny Dollar streams on the channel. I'll be busy listening for 10 years. Right? Exactly, Tracy. So, with that said, let me play a 15-minute episode of Johnny Dollar and we'll talk about. I love Mando Kramer. Mando Kramer's good too. I just ended up playing that not too long ago for the last stream of Johnny Dollar. So let me go to. We are going to listen to. Let's see. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar from 1955. The Broderick Matter, episode 1. We're going to do this just to get a feel of Bob Bailey as Johnny Dollar. Of course, there's been others that played him, but and point out some certain things that he does. And I'll mute myself as it's playing, and I'll stop, and we'll talk about it a little bit when there's something important to bring up. But listen to this, and then after, we're going to talk about Sam Spade, and then we're going to play an episode of Sam Spade. And from there, we're going to make a final decision on who's the best. And we're going to do this every week, every Monday. We're going to do this and break it down. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. So here we go, Johnny Dollar.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
My name's Steele, Mr. Dollar. Claims Division, Eastern Trust Insurance Company.
Steele?
You don't know me, Mr. Dollar. People at Universal Adjustment suggested I contact you. Thought you might be interested in helping me pay off a claim.
Okay, tell me about it, Mr. Steele.
One of our policyholders passed away last month, and we can't seem to locate his beneficiary. She just doesn't seem to be around.
Maybe she doesn't want the money.
Everybody wants money, Mr. Dollar, especially insurance money.
Be there in an hour.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Hillman Hung, we're not doing a radio review. I'm playing an episode just so you get an idea of the ins and outs of the Bob Bailey episode so that you can listen and compare and contrast the two episodes and what you like about it. And if you like something more about Sam Spade and something sways you to go, you know what, Sam Spade is pretty darn good, and I think you may have swayed me with this episode going here. So that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna stop, and when certain things happen during the show, I'm gonna bring it to everybody's attention, and we'll take it from there. So it's not a review. We're battling the two detectives. Who's gonna win? That's what we're gonna do. So here we go.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Eastern Trust Insurance Company Claims Division, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Broderick matter. Expense account item 1, 25 cents bus fare. My apartment to the Eastern Trust Insurance Building in the office of Robert Steele. He was a big sandy-haired man in a tweed suit. We shook hands, looked each other over, and then got down to business.
Now, Mr. Dollar, the deceased policyholder was named John Smith. John Adams Smith, age 67. Died in City Hospital, Charity Ward, 22nd of last month. Death certificate.
I do have to say really quick, and I'm not going to interrupt a whole lot, but I do want to chime in. The opening to Johnny Dollar is pretty darn good. I think it's as good as they come when it comes to the detective series. The lines that it's always the same, right? And then it goes right into the storyline. It is tremendous. It is tremendous. So, but we will listen to Sam Spade too. So, pretty soon. Hello, Stairpike and Richard Speaker. Good to see you guys.
Pneumonia.
And other things.
What other things?
The intern who signed that certificate said Smith was pretty run down. Evidences of malnutrition, possible TB history.
Not noted here, Mr. Steele.
Doesn't make any difference. Smith was able to stand the exam for the policies when they were issued in 1943.
You got him there?
Yes. 1,500 total. Beneficiary, Lorraine Broderick.
She the one you can't locate?
She's the one.
Any other possible heirs, family or anyone?
No, Smith was all alone. No problems there.
Any other material that might help to find Lorraine Broderick?
Well, this stuff here, it might help you. I don't know. I just don't know.
You sound discouraged, Mr. Steele.
$1,500 isn't a lot of money, and the chances are Lorraine Broderick won't even remember John Adams Smith when you do find her. But I hope you do. I'm explaining this badly. Look here. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And here. And here. It's the same all through the book. Smith was absolutely religious about his payments. Never missed a one. Never let it slide one day. Now, I bet I've got the record of 20,000 policy buyers. But none of them reads like that.
I'm impressed, Mr. Steele. Can you tell me why Smith died in a charity ward if he was this conscientious?
He didn't have any money or friends or home. He made his living selling papers.
Oh.
We wouldn't have known about his death except for the fact that the coroner's office called us.
What can you tell me about his beneficiary?
Lorraine Broderick was just someone who stopped and talked to him one day while he was selling papers. She was 11 years old at the time.
What?
Yes. The agent who sold the policies used to buy his papers from the old boy. One day, Smith stopped him and said he wanted to do something nice for a nice little girl named Lorraine Broderick. So he began taking out the policies.
The agent have any more background on that part of it?
No. Lorraine Broderick met Smith that one afternoon and helped him sell his newspapers. Smith never saw her again after that.
1943, she must be 23 or so now.
Well, I hope she grew up to be the kind of person he thought she was then.
Oh, hardly any of us fill out the promise we have at 11 years, Mr. Steele.
Then that isn't what I mean. I mean, if he met her that one day when she was a little girl and he made this gesture toward her, and it was tough for him to make those payments all those years, I hope she deserves it. The money doesn't mean anything, but that kind of endorsement from somebody, even an old bird who sells papers on a corner, is worth more than all the money in the world. Does that sound foolish, Mr. Dollar?
Not a bit, Mr. Steele. Not a bit. Expense account item 2, $2. Cab fare to Lorraine Broderick's last known address. 1485 Cushing Street, a broken-down apartment house that had probably never seen better days or better neighbors. The owner and manager of the building recalled that Paul and Mary Broderick, parents of Lorraine, had been killed in an automobile accident in 1948. The manager did not know what had become of Lorraine. She had moved out of the apartment 2 days after the funeral. No forwarding address. Expense account item 3, 4 bits, more cab fare. This time 7 blocks away to Pulaski Street, and a dingy cluster of red brick buildings that were yielding slowly to time and wear. I arrived at 3 on the dot. I don't think high schools ever change much. At least this one was no different than the one I'd been in.
Yeah, a little bit more. Steerpike says, Sam Spade is such an iconic character, especially given Bogart's interpretation. It is hard to make a fair comparison. A fair comparison? Well, that's kind of not what I'm trying to do here. They're different. They're each different, but we can take different things out and kind of just say, hey, you know what? I think that's the better detective overall. That's kind of what I'm going for with the battles of the detectives. And, again, the writing in Johnny Dollar is pretty darn good. I think the Sam Spade episodes, and we'll listen to one after this, is just a bit more rougher and tougher. And I like the lingo and, all of that a little bit better with Sam Spade. But again, I know I'm predicting, of course, Johnny Dollar's probably going to win this because we got a whole mess of votes even before. But try to hold off and make a decision after listening to 2 of these. So, very interesting.
And way back when. The persistent smell of pencil sharpeners, ink, and discarded lunch wrappers.
Yes?
Sister Mary Regina?
Yes, may I help you?
Good afternoon, sister. My name's Johnny Dollar. I wonder if I could talk to you a moment.
Dollar.
Yes.
Are you sure you shouldn't be speaking to Sister Amadea in the grade school? I don't believe we have any students named Dollar.
Oh, no, sister. I don't have any children in school here. I've been hired by Eastern Trust Insurance Company to locate a beneficiary on one of their insurance policies. I thought perhaps you might help me.
Well, I'll try, Mr. Dollar.
I took a chance and came here because it was the nearest high school to the girl's address. Her name is Lorraine Broderick.
Lorraine Broderick.
Yes. The last trace I have of her was in 1948. She was about 17 then, possibly still in school, possibly this school.
Lorraine Broderick.
Mm-hmm. Sound familiar, sister?
In a way, yes. Oh, there are so many, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, I just met about 3,000 of them out in the hall.
Yes, I know. 1948. Benson, Brady, Broderick, Lorraine Mary Broderick.
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Dollar, your guess was very good. She was here in St. Charles from 1945 to 48, yes.
I wonder if there's an address listed there, home address.
1120 Seaton Place. Oh, my, that's quite far from here. Parents deceased, guardian. Oh.
Anything wrong, sister?
Why, I remember Lorraine now, Mr. Dollar. Her parents were killed in an automobile accident in her senior year. Yes.
I do like how he keeps calling her sister. Sister. He does have kind of, Johnny Dollar, especially Bob Bailey here, does kind of have that smart aleck attitude about him, which most of these detectives do, but he comes across very, very well. Dollar is just smooth, says Vincent White. I guess let's listen to a little bit more. I think Sam Spade's just a little bit more smooth, although he's smooth in that tough way where he'll grab the dame and he'll pull her in for a kiss. You know what I mean? Something like that. I dig that. You know what I mean? So, anyways.
And she went to live with her uncle, James Broderick, at this Seton address. Oh, yes, I remember that lovely girl. She was in Sister Hildegard's class.
That ties up with what I know about her so far, sister.
Oh, I remember her so clearly. I can even see her face. Perhaps that was it. Her face. Like an angel's. Gentle and
Sister.
fresh and wonderful.
The man who left her the insurance money must have thought the same as you do, sister. He saw her one day when she was 11.
Oh, I have an annual from that year, Mr. Dollar. Would you like to see Lorraine?
Yes.
Right here. Yes, here we are. That's Lorraine Broderick. Beautiful, isn't she?
Sister Mary Regina pointed to a group picture on one of the pages. It was labeled Girls Fidelity. Lorraine Broderick was in the first row, one of 30 or 40 self-conscious little girls wearing identical self-conscious expressions. Her hair appeared to be deep brown or black, her features soft and slightly cherubic. Undeniably, Lorraine Broderick had been a beautiful young girl. In all probability, she was a beautiful young woman, wherever she was. By 5 o'clock, I'd been to her uncle's address on Seton Place. There I learned that Uncle James Broderick had died of a heart attack in 1950. The people at the address reported that Lorraine had lived with him up until the time of his death. She had worked in a dentist's office, they told me. As far as they knew, she still worked there. I made a phone call.
Yes, sir?
Johnny Dollar, Mr. Steele.
Oh, how are you going on Lorraine Broderick?
Well, I might need some help. Have you got a man?
Sure.
I've got her traced up to 1950, Steele. She worked for a dentist here in town.
Uh-huh.
Probably got her job in his office right out of high school. That meant she pretty well had to get it through a professional agency.
That sounds reasonable. I got a man to check the agencies in town that specialize in that.
Let me know. The next day, I was back in St. Charles High School making up a list of names and addresses belonging to students who had been in Lorraine Broderick's graduation class. Out of the 10 names I chose at random, I was able to locate only 2. Both girls, both married. Both remembered Lorraine Broderick. Neither of them had seen her since graduation. Neither of them was able to furnish any helpful information. Expense account item 5, 10 cents, 1 phone call. Steele again.
You want to take this down, Dollar?
Yeah, okay.
David Pollard. That's Dr. David Pollard. 2950 Tremel Lane. Lorraine Broderick went to work for him as a receptionist in 1949. Got it?
Got it. What's his office address?
Suite 210, Majestic Building.
I got there about 5:45. There was no receptionist on duty. As a matter of fact, no reception desk. A stern-looking nurse in a rumpled white uniform knew nothing of a Lorraine Broderick who might have worked for Doctor. Doctor was working with a patient. If I cared to wait for Doctor...
Did he just put down her dress? Did he point out that her dress was awful? Is that what he did? The other thing I like about Sam Spade and some of the others, I mean, there's crime in these Johnny Dollars, but I like the ones where they, the gangsters there, the crime. I'm trying my best to convince you guys about Sam Spade, but anyways, enjoy still, yeah. And is my volume up? Quick thing, because I think I messed this up. Volume. How high is it right now? Is it getting higher? Is it getting higher? I need to test with you guys. Okay, let's see. Let me see. The mic is low. There we go. Higher. Okay, got it. Let's continue with this episode. We've got about 9 minutes. Well, maybe about 5 minutes left. So there you go. Here we go.
Yes, what is it?
My name's Dollar. I'm with the Eastern Trust Insurance Company.
I don't need any today, Mr. Dollar.
I'm not looking for a sale, Doctor.
What?
That's right. I'm trying to find a friend of yours.
Who are you talking about?
Lorraine Broderick.
Oh. How is Lorraine these days?
I don't know, Doctor. I'd like to meet her and find out.
Well, you're looking in the wrong place. I can't help you. She hasn't been around here for a couple of years. Goodbye.
Oh, wait.
Well, what now?
Well, you've got an awful big chip on your shoulder, Doctor. You won't even let me explain my business.
I'm not interested in your business. I can tell you mine's been going on since 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm pretty tired.
You finished now?
Well, yes.
Can I take you downstairs and buy you a drink?
Sorry. What is it you want to know?
Where I can get in touch with her.
I don't know. She quit without notice a couple of years ago. Just didn't come back. Too bad, too.
Do you have any idea where she might have gone?
Just what is this for?
To pay her some money we owe her. We can't locate her anywhere.
Well, I'm sorry, but neither can I.
Are you still trying?
Not anymore. All I know is she just left one day about 2 years ago. She had a little apartment over on the west side. The manager told me she'd pulled out bag and baggage, and I haven't heard from her since.
Were you on good terms with her, Doctor? Doctor?
I'll take the drink. Don't misunderstand me, Dollar. She was a real sweet girl. But there was something about her. I don't know. I hope you find her. Or maybe I don't.
What are you talking about?
She had plans of her own, plans she never told me about. Look, I was in practice 3 years when she came to work for me, fresh out of high school. With all of it, she still made me feel like a little boy in knee pants. That smile of hers you could take two ways. And the look that went with it. I'm sure she's met a lot of men since she walked out on me, and I'll bet all of them have found out the same thing.
What's that?
That they've been taken.
You mean money?
Oh, it wasn't the watch or the necklace or the loans every now and then. It was being taken worse. You know, being used and knowing you're being used.
I don't quite get it.
And I'll make it clear. That sweet, fresh, beautiful little girl was out to do everything and everybody for all she could get. She's rotten, you know, just plain rotten.
There'll be another intriguing episode of The Broderick Matter tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the expense goes way up. Yeah, it costs money to prove how wrong one man can be.
Why are you dropping frames? You're doing great, Dino. Do you guys see me? All of a sudden it stopped dropping frames now. Yes, I can. Yay, buffering cured. I changed a button. This is so ridiculous. You guys got to understand that I'm trying my hardest to get everything smoothed out and working, especially now with moving everything here and things different. It's sounds good here now. Okay. I do apologize for the buffering. I think on replay, you guys will still get it and see it. Although it'll be, you'll see me going, do you see me? Do you see me? But anyways, no more buffering now, Dino. Okay. Yes, I'm definitely going to give myself enough time to try to figure out why the frames are dropping on the fly, because this has got to stop happening. Dino, we understand everything is fine. I remember one Johnny Dollar episode, the gal gave 600. Okay, so let me go over to, we've talked about Johnny Dollar. Again, love these parts of Johnny Dollar. Yeah, I mean, you know, depending on which ones you listen to, the Bob Bailey 15-minute episodes, definitely good, and they can continue a story arc over, like they said, about 75 minutes over the week, and it's really, really good. So let's talk a little bit about Sam Spade. Again, thank you guys for sticking around through, you know, the rough spots here until I figure all of this out, because this should not be happening. If anything, I'm going to go to Restream and stop using OBS. I'm just going to stop using it. If it's going to cause this every single time, I'm just going to go to Restream. I don't think I'll have any problems there. But anyways, Sam Spade. Detective drama, 1946 to 1951. A short run, but Sam Spade was the creation of Dashiell Hammett, who along with Raymond Chandler, godfathered the tough guy, introspective school of detective fiction that got really big after the Second World War. And I think that's what I like most about Sam Spade is the tough guy image that he puts on, and he's just rough around the edges. He's a oh God, chauvinistic. I mean, that's not a good trait to have, but back in the day in the film, to listen to that, it's something, it's like, oh boy, that's exciting to watch. But anyways, film star Howard Duff played Sam Spade, also played by Steve Dunn at the very end of the show. Lorene Tuttle was Effie Purine, his perfect secretary, perfect fantasy of a private eye secretary. That's the other thing I love about it, because it's quintessential noir type detective, dramas. It's what I love about him. And John McIntyre was Lieutenant Dundee. Later, William Conrad, Escape, Matt Dillon on Gunsmoke, did Dundee. When the production moved to Hollywood, William Spire, a great director of suspense and many other fine shows, took the tough guy detective genre and shook it down to basics. Action, drama, toughs, dames, wisecracks, laughs, add great acting, and you have excellent radio. Again, I think that's my point with Sam Spade, is just that all of those adjectives, it's what I love about the old detective series on back in the day. It's just, dames, wisecracks, laughs. I mean, all of that intertwined with, the Sam Spade. Spade was meticulously enough to make a report. And you can tell that this has thrown me off a bit, because I'm a little pissed that it did all of that again on me. And I'm a little irritated, because it's been rough trying to get all this to work properly, man. It's so ridiculous. For almost 2 years I had no problems, and then all of a sudden. But anyways, let's see, where am I at? Hammett's actual Pinkerton Detective Agency background as the half-hour show unfolded. These reports were sent to Effie too, so she always knew the score. Love that about Sam Spade. Effie was always in on it. It seemed she wanted to score with Sam, but that was a scratch at the track in his book. The caper always came first. The wisecrack came second. And if a tough was unaccommodating, then an uppercut might be in order. Effie was there to take care of the business. Dunning, in his on-the-air encyclopedia of the old-time radio, says, the show was loved in its time and still is. The plots were often run-of-the-mill fare, which is fine, obviously hacked out in the heat of the deadline. No one cared if holes were patched in an obvious and sometimes careless way. This show had a style and class that the others all envied. Duff made the writing part of this his own unique character. The wit and charm of the show was weathered for decades, and The Adventures of Sam Spade remains today the pinnacle of radio private. Included in the update of this show are 4 episodes of the British Sam Spade, The Maltese Falcon. The Maltese Falcon was the 1930s precursor to the Sam Spade series. But remember, if Sam's busy, then call on Philip Marlowe, Richard Diamond, which we'll all get to, Let George Do It, all the other ones, The Saint, Boston Blackie, Falcon, Hardboiled Detectives. So there's plenty of other stuff to listen to for sure. Tracy Asteria, thank you. So that's the rundown, and my takeaway with that is exactly that. The tough guy, the dames, the wisecracks, the action. I'm a lover of cheesy 80s horror movies, so, just to have all of that thrown into a detective show. And again, we lost a whole mess of people because I was buffering for like 2 minutes. I do apologize. I'm so sorry. Nothing seems to be going right lately for me, but whatever. It's all good. As long as you guys are enjoying this. M, welcome. Okay, got to go feed the dog. I'll check back in a bit. It looks like so far 65 votes. Sam Spade at 40%, Johnny Dollar at 60%. Let's listen to a episode of Sam Spade, and let's see what he's all about here.
The Adventures of Sam Spade, Detective, brought to you by Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic, the non-alcoholic hair tonic that contains lanolin. Wild Root Cream Oil, again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first.
Sam Spade Detective Agency.
Me, sweetheart.
Sam, how did it go?
It was the end, Effie, but the end.
Oh, Sam, not another one of those society things.
Depends on what you mean by society.
Well, you know, Sam, cafe society. Cocktails for two, hands across the table, making another old-fashioned, please.
Let's not lose our head, Effie. Nothing but double martinis, very dry, with 2 olives, sweetheart.
2 olives? Oh, Sam, isn't that overdoing it?
It was all overdone, sweetheart. That's what cracked it. Now, stay right where you are. I'll be right down to mix up my report on the dry martini caper. Get it?
Mark says not a fan of Sam Spade, but likes Howard Duff. Understandably, but not a fan of Sam Spade. And Ted Wood, hello and welcome. Thoughts about Pat Novak for hire? We will get to that in a future video, but I love Pat Novak. I love... It's basically one-liners for the entire episode, every show. So if you like one-liners and wisecracks, that's what you get with Pat Novak for hire, and I love it. So let's try to push to Sam Spade if you like Sam Spade better. But I'm trying to convince you, but not doing so well. Anyways, here we go. The dry martini caper.
Dashiell Hammett, America's leading detective fiction writer and creator of Sam Spade, the hard-boiled private eye, and William Spear, radio's outstanding producer-director of mystery and crime drama, join their talents to make your hair stand on end with the adventures of Sam Spade. Presented by the makers of Wild Root Cream Oil for the hair. August is always a great vacation month, and for those of you planning to take your vacation soon, let me suggest that when you're packing, be sure you include a bottle and a handy tube of Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. For no matter where you go, you can always depend on Wild Root Cream Oil to groom your hair neatly and naturally, relieve dryness, and remove loose dandruff. Yes, you can take it with you on your vacation, and you should. Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first. And now, with Howard Duff starring as Spade, Wild Root brings to the air the greatest private detective of them all in The Adventures of Sam Spade.
You look sober as an owl.
Wise as an owl, sober as a judge, F.
Oh. Well, the way you talked on the phone, I thought you'd drowned the shamrock, kissed the Black Betty, spliced the main brace, decorated the mahogany, made a Dutch bargain, or, in a word, gone to give a Chinaman a music lesson.
Effie, I wish you'd spend more time with Harper's Bazaar while I'm gone and less with the thesaurus of slang. Didn't know I could say that. Are you sober?
Well, I've been riding the choo-choo, drinking Adam's ale. And if you don't believe it, just ask me to walk a chalk.
Okay, heelsy-toesy, arms akimbo, eyes glazed.
Yes, Sam.
Now then, tip of the forefinger to the tip of the nose.
Oh, Sam, it makes me dizzy.
Dizzy Gillespie?
Dizzy go... Oh, Sam.
Exactly. And you are not sewn up, shagged, shellacked, shickered, stuccoed, tap-shackled, stiffo, or real crazy.
Well, you know best, Sam.
Good. Now try this one.
Yes.
How can you not like that about Sam Spade? Listen to that. Did you just hear that? What he just said there? And the way Effie and him play off of each other in every single episode. I mean, come on. I love Sam Spade, man.
Fred.
Sitting posture, limbs cruciform.
What?
Cheesecake style.
Oh, Sam.
That's it. Now place the notebook. Just a little higher. Good. Now apply the tip of the pencil to the top of the fool's cap and proceed viz.
Viz.
Date. August 1st, 1948. To Mrs. Netta Martini, 1000 Marina Boulevard, San Francisco. From Samuel Spade, license number 137596. Subject, Dear Netta. The first I knew of the caper was day before yesterday morning when I saw your husband's picture in the paper. It was one of those lovingly retouched executive-type photographs of a man in his late 40s or early 50s, graying at the temples and wearing an embalmed man of distinction look. The story was headlined, Corporation Head Waylaid by Mysterious Assailant. Chauffeur foils would-be kidnappers at offices of Martini Trading Company. The item under it wasn't as thrilling as the headline. Sounded as if he'd been knocked down for his wallet and the attempted kidnapping had been dreamed up by a bored city news reporter. I tossed it into the wastebasket along with my morning mail and went back to the Police Gazette. On page 3, the phone rang. Unique Garage, Harry speaking.
Mr. Spade?
One moment. Who's calling?
Gordon Martini.
Not Gordon Martini, the corporation head, waylaid by mysterious assailant.
Chairman of the board, and there's nothing mysterious about it.
Then what are you doing on this phone?
I can't talk on the phone.
Where are you? In a hospital?
I left that pest house this morning. I'm at my residence, 1000 Marina Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
It will take you exactly 20 minutes by cab. You will meet me in front of the building, and we'll have our conference in my car en route to the office.
Where's your office?
Downtown Post Street.
Oh, why don't I meet you there?
I'm a busy man. Have a full calendar. I'm already late due to all that hospital red tape. But I can fit you into my schedule if you'll hurry. Now, look alive, man.
Well, it's a little early in the morning, but I'm trying hard.
Good. What will you want for a retainer?
I'll let you know if I decide to take the job.
Fair enough. 20 minutes. I'll expect you.
I should have looked more alive. It took me 2 minutes to get out of the street, 1 minute to flag down a cab, and 18 minutes to reach your address, Netta. A total of 21 minutes. As my taxi drew up to the curb in front of the canopied entrance to the corner apartment house at 1000 Marina, I saw your husband pacing indignantly up and down in front of the entrance, pausing only to glare at the outsized chronometer on his left wrist. His gray Homburg was perched atop an outsized turban of gauze bandage that decorated his head.
You're Spade. You're exactly 1 minute and 22 seconds late. Hours are made of minutes, minutes are made of seconds. In killing this seemingly negligible interval of time, you have wounded an hour.
Oh, I have? Well, I'm sorry. The traffic's pretty heavy out here this hour of the morning, you know.
You should have started a minute and 22 seconds earlier.
I'm sorry there was a bore on the telephone, kept talking about how valuable his time was.
Well, don't apologize. Only waste more time. Now, here's your check, $100.
Again, I know I keep saying it, but that's what I like about Sam Spade just a little bit more is the tough guy image and the how he's a smart aleck when it comes to, like, listen, he's talking to this guy and he's just being a smart aleck. You know, it's everything you need in a private eye back in the 40s and 50s. You know what I mean? So my choice is Sam Spade so far. So, you know, hey, whatever.
My car's just around the corner. I paid that chauffeur a large salary. We mustn't keep him waiting. In the meantime, you may as well start earning your fee.
I've been earning it for the past 22 minutes and 22 seconds.
Wait. I suspected as much. You drive a car?
Yeah, you mean one man drives all that?
I see him, that rascally chauffeur of mine. Asleep in the back seat. All right, come out of there, you. Hey, watch it!
I was behind him and a little to the right. The shock of the rapid-fire 30-caliber slugs lifted him off his feet and knocked him against me. I went down under his 300 pounds of dead weight. By the time I rolled him off of me and got up, the gunman had jumped out of the limousine and into a gray sedan that was double-parked alongside. In the welter of traffic on the boulevard, I didn't dare risk throwing a shot after him, but I did get the first 3 numbers of the license plate before it buried itself in the heavy stream of AM commuters. That's when the air changed from exhaust fumes to something out of a Persian garden. I turned and looked for the first time into your Nile green eyes, Netta, and saw you twisting a handkerchief in your pale hands I might have loved beside the Shalimar, but on Marina Boulevard they looked like hysterics dead ahead.
Who did it? You saw him. Don't lie to me. Why don't they come? Where's the ambulance? Why are all those people standing around there staring at me? Make them go away.
Calm down.
Make them go away. I
Take
can't
it.
stand it.
Stop it, will you? That's better. Now, come on over here. Who are you, his wife?
Yes, and it was all my fault. This is the end. I called Ernie out the window and asked him to come upstairs. I wanted him to return some lingerie. They sent the wrong color, peach.
Yeah. Who's Ernie?
He's our chauffeur. I was looking for the exchange slip when we heard the shots. Is he dead this time?
Yeah, don't go to pieces.
Poor Gordon, he had so many enemies. He didn't drink well, you know. People dropped us like flies.
Well, they certainly dropped.
And I also like how Johnny Dollar kind of beats around the bush sometimes, and Sam Spade gets to the point very quickly. So, just another point.
Your husband.
Are you a policeman?
No, but I'll do until the real thing comes along, which is right now. If I were you, lady, I'd go back upstairs and relax. They'll get to you soon enough.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Poor Gordon, he looks so natural stretched out on the pavement.
Yeah.
I keep thinking he'll get up and stagger on into the elevator. He didn't drink at all well.
Go on, will you?
All right, I'm going. Oh, Ernie, where did you go?
Down at the garage. I heard a car drive in. Poor Mr. Martini. It's all my fault.
No, Ernie, it's mine if I only hadn't mislaid that exchange slip.
What?
You know, when I called you out the window to come and get that package.
Oh, that.
What do we got here? Who's the witness?
Me.
Oh, Spade. Lost another client, huh?
Not quite. I hadn't cashed the check yet.
Well, they got him anyway. All right, clear a space in there. Let him through with that stretcher. All right. Step over here out of the crowd, Sam. I want to get this statement.
Yeah. Okay, Gary, take it down.
Got a pencil?
Yeah, but I want it back.
Let's have it.
This guy is Gordon Martini.
Mm-hmm.
He headed up a local firm, the Martini Trading Company.
Yeah.
Last night he was working late at his office. Got boinged.
All right.
Phoned me this morning. Didn't know why. Thought maybe he wanted a bodyguard. Anyway, he needed one.
Did he say he got boinged? He got boinged? What the heck was... He got boinged.
One.
Mm-hmm.
Gunman was crouched in the back seat of the limousine, shoved the carbine out when Martini opened the door.
Carbine, huh?
Didn't get a good look at him. You can see why, the way it's closed in. No side windows.
Foreign car, isn't it?
Stop drooling. You can't afford one. You getting all this?
What about the getaway?
Martini fell on top of me. I saw the getaway car on the back of his head.
Yeah.
The car was a gray sedan. The back of his head was a standard make, too. Only got the first 3 digits of license plate, 5D9.
5D9. Anything else?
Yeah, give me back my pencil. The homicide boys want some help. They know my fee.
Mr. Spade.
This is Martini. Why aren't you and Ernie upstairs getting your out?
Also, the homicide guys knows his fee if they need his help. Even the coppers got to pay Sam Spade. So there you go. Come on, $10. Anyways, whatever.
Alibi's shaped up.
Oh, please, I can't face the questions just yet. Would it be legal if I just avoided them till I can collect myself?
I don't know about legal, but it might be smart.
Where can we talk?
What do you suggest?
Well, there's a little cocktail lounge up on Lombard where Ernie and I all... well, it's just around the corner.
Very handy. Let's go.
Against my mother's advice, I should have listened, but, well, that's why I married Mr. Martini.
Well, that brings us up to 1943, and it's only 11:45.
You're just like him, always holding a stopwatch over my head.
Always?
Well, he drank, you know.
You told me that.
But it's much more important than you think. He often fell down and bumped his head.
You mean that mysterious assailant that waylaid him last night in his office was a double martini?
2 pitchers full before dinner.
2?
Ernie had to carry him up to his office.
Well, what did he go up there for?
Oh, we had an appointment with the vice president of the firm, Mr. Nesbitt. Something had come up, and he wanted Gordon to sign some papers. I don't know what. It wasn't the first time. I waited outside in the car. After Ernie had taken him upstairs, he came back to the car, and we talked.
Ernie has alibis upstairs, downstairs, and all around the house.
Well, then when the others came out and Gordon didn't, Ernie went upstairs to see why.
Others? Mr. Nesbitt and who else?
Mary Callahan.
Secretary?
No, she's an attorney. And if you think everything was legal between those two, well, but after all, who am I to call the kettle black?
Now, what are you trying to tell me? That you got him drunk so they could make him sign some papers? That he got himself drunk so he couldn't write his name? Or that he just got drunk and fell down?
Between you and me, I think she pushed him down a flight of stairs. In his condition, he'd never remember.
Why are you putting the finger on the Callahan dame?
Well, what would you think? She was the last one out of the building.
Why didn't you want to tell all this to the police?
Well, I didn't want to talk about his drinking. Things were bad enough already. That would have been the end.
Well, that's as good an answer as any. What do you want me to do for you?
Prove that she did it and Ernie didn't.
I'll let you take care of Ernie.
Oh, no. I don't want to alibi him unless I have to. He might get the wrong idea.
You mean I've got the wrong idea?
He might think it meant I still care for him, and I don't. I can't stand him anymore. The way he chews those toothpicks. And besides, if his alibi is too good, I might have trouble about that carbine in the backseat of my car.
Pardon me, it sounded as if you said you might have trouble about a carbine in the backseat of your car.
That's what I said.
Where is your car?
In the garage. But somebody had it out this morning. They scraped the fender coming back in, and they ran into the wall. They must have been in an awful hurry.
Tell me, this car of yours, it wouldn't be a gray sedan?
Yes.
License number?
Oh, wait a minute. It's on my key ring. Here, 5D9...
That's enough. Why didn't you tell me this before?
Well, I couldn't get up the nerve. After I heard you tell that policeman the gun that killed Gordon was a carbine, and the gray sedan and all that, well, it's the end.
I hoped you were right, but I didn't think so. When I went to look at the gray sedan in your garage, I knew you were wrong. Dead wrong. It was the getaway car, all right, and the carbine, as you know, was proven later to be the one that killed your husband. But Ernie had turned into a very poor suspect indeed. He was hugging the carpet between the front and rear seats, and when I nudged him, he didn't move. He'd been shot at closer range than Gordon Martini, and the killer had used only one slug. It was planted in the base of his brain, which made him not only a very poor suspect, but a very dead one.
Another thing I like, lots of crimes, lots of description of the crimes. Love that about Sam Spade and some of the other shows, too. Johnny Dollar is a bit more dramatic, so, yeah.
The makers of Wild Root Cream Oil are presenting the weekly Sunday adventure of Dashiell Hammett's famous private detective, Sam Spade. If you want the well-groomed look that helps you get ahead socially and on the job, listen. Recently, thousands of people from coast to coast who bought Wild Root Cream Oil for the first time were asked, how does Wild Root Cream Oil compare with the hair tonic you previously used? Better than 4 out of 5 who replied said they preferred Wild Root Cream Oil. And no wonder. Wild Root Cream Oil grooms the hair neatly and naturally, relieves annoying dryness, and removes loose dandruff. What's more, non-alcoholic Wild Root Cream Oil is the only leading hair tonic that contains soothing lanolin. So ask for Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first. By the way, smart girls use Wild Root Cream Oil, too. And mothers say it's grand for training children's hair. And now, back to the Dry Martini Caper. Tonight's adventure with Sam Spade.
Trading Company, good afternoon. I'm sorry, Mr. Nesbitt is in conference. I'll see that he gets your message. Well, what can I do for you?
I would like to see Miss Callahan.
Miss Callahan is in conference with Mr. Nesbitt.
Good. I would like to see them both.
But I have orders not to disturb them.
You do not have to. I will.
Just a minute. You can't go breaking in like that.
Yes, and I'll tell you something else. He won't ever get away with it. Why, everyone in this town knows about...
And I have to mention the sound effects in Sam Spade, on par with Johnny Dollar, but the footsteps in these old-time radio shows, how they do them, whoever the sound effects guy for each of the shows are, makes a big difference. Like the worst is Dragnet, I do believe. Sounds nothing like feet running, walking, or anything like that. So when we get to Dragnet, we'll talk about that. But just very interesting.
About your underworld connection?
Why, you doddering old fool, when I get through with you, if you don't go to the gas chamber for Gordon Martini's murder, you'll wish you had.
If I go to the gas chamber, it'll be for killing you, not Gordon.
Oh, you said it. Oh, why didn't I have witnesses here?
Miss Callahan?
Oh. Did you hear that?
You weren't talking loud enough. I didn't hear a thing.
Well, come on in here and I'll tell you a thing or two. Close that door. Now, sit down.
Thanks. I listen better on my feet.
Oh, so you're the detective Netta Martini employed, eh?
He's better on his feet. See, he ain't gonna take no crap. Come on, guys. A few more votes.
What's she paying you?
That'll depend on how much I have to do for her.
Well, I'll tell you how much you'll have to do for her. You'll have to make a case against me, and that's not going to be easy.
Why do you think she's out to get you?
Why, indeed. For years, this moth-eaten mouthpiece, this parboiled Portia, has been victimizing poor Gordon, taking advantage of his weakness for drink.
Oh,
Now that she's liquidated him, she appears with 55% of the common stock. Motive enough, eh?
Why, you fraud! fraudulent, old fool. I simply bought up his debts and threw an attachment on those stocks. Unethical, but perfectly legal.
Look,
Why, you're not even a proper thief. You're nothing but a bumbling old embezzler.
Now, listen
You had
here.
him killed because he was going to call in the auditors to look over those books of yours. The Dean of Double Entry, Mr. Spade.
Look, will you save this for the courtroom scene? Now, you've convinced me. You're both crooked. I'll see that you both go up for something. That's a promise.
Oh, Mr. Spade, I gave you credit for better sense. Do you know that this Medusa of the magistrate's court, this harpy of the Hall of Justice,
Well-
tricked him into changing the beneficiary of his insurance the very night she pushed him down the stairs?
And you were all in favor of it when you thought you held the controlling interest in the company. Answer that. You see, Mr. Spade, he can't answer that.
Good. I'm glad one of you is temporarily lost for words. Now, I only want to know one thing, and I want a straight answer, and if either one of you starts off on another speech, I'm going to push you into the nearest cloakroom and lock you in together.
Why, you wouldn't dare.
Try me, sweet.
Oh, he would. He'd lock her right in there. Yeah, you push him a little too far. Yeah, Johnny Dollar would walk out the door. He'd just say, enough of this. Am I swaying you?
Well, what do you want to know about this Amazon ambulance chaser, this Trilby of the traffic course?
Watch it.
Well, what do you want to know?
About Martini's insurance policy. Now, you say he changed the beneficiary. Please answer in 10 words or less. Who was the beneficiary and who is the beneficiary now?
I'll have to answer that question in two parts. The beneficiary was his wife. He changed it to the Martini Trading Company, a corporation of the state of California.
Thank you, and goodbye, Mary Callahan.
Thank you and goodbye, Mary Callahan. Come on. Come on. He says it how it is. Oh, I love it.
And that Netta took the heat off of you for the time being, which made things tough for me. Because Callahan and Nesbitt were so horrible, I never wanted to see them again, even to testify against them in court. I was sure of one thing. None of you had pulled the trigger of that carbine. There'd been a hired killer behind it, and the way he operated, taking crazy chances in broad daylight in a crowded street, told me an important thing about him. That night, I made the rounds of the joints. At a plant called the Bing Room, I found a bouncer who'd tossed out a customer that'd run up a bill and tried to pay it with a $1,000 check. He sent me to the Atlas Hotel. The Atlas Hotel is off of 3rd Street down near the railroad yards. Not even a flea bag. The fleas sickened and died a long time ago. They couldn't take it. And from the look of the guests sprawled out in the mission...
The fleas sickened and died years ago. They couldn't take it. Oh, come on.
Furniture of the lobby, they wouldn't be able to much longer. A half-dead room clerk came back to the land of the living long enough to mutter a room number and wave me feebly toward a flight of crummy stairs.
Yeah, what do you want?
You, Hack Hartman?
Hey, you got anything for me, huh?
Yeah, I got news for you. Get back in the room. I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah. Well, come on in.
Drop the shiv.
Yeah, I'll drop it. I'll fix you. I'll cut you good. I'll cut you. I'll cut you.
I'm glad you did that. You make it easy for me. Now get over there.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm not feeling so good.
You can feel a lot worse. Who hired you to put the burn on Martini?
You don't get nothing out of me.
Who gave you that check?
Oh, leave me alone.
I got all night, Hack, and I feel...
Yeah, beat him up. Beat him up, Sam Spade. Beat him up. He can't take no more. Come on, come on.
Feel better than you do. Now, what did you do with that check? I'll shake it if your teeth come out with it. Come on.
All right. Stop it. I don't feel...
I'll shake you if your teeth come out with it. Okay, anyways.
It's so good.
Okay. Where?
Pocket. My shirt.
Don't reach. I'll get it. It was a company check, which is what I'd expected. It was for $1,000 drawn on the Golden Gate Trust and Loan. But I wasn't expecting to find the signature on the bottom line. It was signed in a bold, firm hand, Gordon Martini. Who was the penman on this?
He wrote it himself, right in front of me.
What was it supposed to be for?
He wanted I should knock off his brother.
You get mixed up?
Well, he's dead, ain't he?
That's what I mean. Gordon Martini's dead.
The papers got it wrong. That was his brother, his twin brother. And that other guy, that chauffeur, kept hanging around the garage so I couldn't get out. I had I had to burn him, too.
You know what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm making sense. Now get out of here. I'm getting steamed.
Don't let it worry you. I got a nice, cool place all picked out for you. After I turned Hank over to the cops, I did what checking I could on my own at that time of night. As nearly as I could learn, Gordon Martini could never have had a brother, twin or otherwise. He was a first child. His mother died in childbirth, and his father died 1 month later. So I went back to the offices of the Martini Trading Company, glass-keyed my way in, and made a quick frisk of it. There I learned that the signature on the check was indeed Gordon's, but that he had closed out his account at that bank the day he wrote it. I thought about that on the way out to your apartment.
Sam, I've been calling and calling, trying to reach you. I've been so worried. It's the end.
This time you might be right. Fix me a drink.
Well, there's nothing in the house but those prepared martinis Gordon used to drink. Is that all right?
No,
I said, fix me a drink.
but fix me one anyway. Never mind the ice. It's not morning yet, but I hate myself already.
Why don't you just relax and let me get it for you?
I'll relax. You get the martinis.
What happened? What'd you think of Mary Callahan? Isn't she the end?
She's cute. You're all cute.
All of me? How nice.
I put ice in anyway. It's nasty without.
She's cute. You're all cute. Way to go, Sam Spade.
It's nasty anyway.
I hope it doesn't make you fall down the way it did poor Gordon.
Thanks.
What? Well, what's the matter? Too dry?
You open this bottle fresh?
Why, yes. What's the matter?
Where are they, the rest of the bottles? Oh, yeah. More of the same. Is this all your husband ever drank?
Yes, gallons of it. It's a special brand. He even took it with him to bars and people's houses. He'd sit and drink them right out of the bottle like a little child. Then he'd be falling down drunk, of course. And that's how we lost so many friends. They dropped us like...
Like flies. Yeah, it was the end.
Who are you phoning?
City morgue.
Maxie, Sam Spade.
Sammy, what can I do on you?
On Martini, Maxie, they got around to the autopsy yet?
Yeah, they rushed him through.
Got the report handy?
Right in front of me. Funny thing, Sam. The doc said they should have saved themselves the trouble. He'd have been dead in a week or two without no help.
What from?
Brain tumor. Malignant, it says here.
Any alcohol in him?
None from drinking, Sammy.
What about the head wounds?
Accidental fall due to periodic fainting spells. Part of his condition.
Thanks, Maxie.
Well, what is it, Sam? Were the martinis poisoned?
No, sweetheart. The martinis were colored water.
Why, they couldn't. Well, what made him get so drunk?
He didn't. He was sick.
But, Sam, who killed him?
He killed himself.
But he couldn't have.
He hired a gunman to do it. He planned his own murder.
But that's... Well, why didn't he leave a note or something? He could have ruined us all.
Come here, sweetheart. Put your little head on Uncle Sam's shoulder.
Why, Sam...
That's, just what he wanted you to do. He wanted to ruin you. He let Mary Callahan fleece him out of his interest in the company. He let Nesbitt juggle the books. He let you go your way with Ernie. He let all three of you fix yourselves up with as nice a set of motives for murder as a jury could ask for.
He couldn't have...
The real joker was the check he used to pay off the man he hired to kill him. It bounced. It also proved he'd planned his own murder. But he still has his revenge. Because the insurance that would have kept the corporation from going broke won't be paid off on account of the self-liquidating cause.
Oh, Sam, darling, what's going to become of us all?
Well, Callahan and Nesbitt will probably sue each other to death. You might have to go to work and earn a living.
Well, I have $500.
You might have to go to work and earn a living. He did mention insurance, too. That's when Johnny Dollar should have come in. But anyways, make sure you hit the thumbs up, you guys, and make sure you vote. Sam Spade or Johnny Dollar. I see where it's going, but yeah.
Dollars, I might invest it in something.
You already have. Here's my bill.
But, Sam, you didn't help me. What? This is the end.
No, it isn't, sweetheart. This is the beginning. Come here. Period. End of the end.
Well, you ask me. You helped her.
Now, F.
Well, that just goes to show you.
Show what, F?
Man's ingratitude to man.
Hmm?
But what did Mr. Martini have against you?
Why, nothing, sweetheart. He just needed a smart operator like Well, no, Johnny Madero was on vacation.
Sam, have you cashed that check Mr. Martini gave you?
Well, not yet.
Sam, any bartender would know better than to take a check from a man who drinks that much.
F, you haven't been paying attention. He didn't drink. He didn't.
Thanks, Tracy. William Sturity. I know you're just coming and just throwing some BS there, buddy. I keep it real on this channel. Yeah. A-hole.
I was able to establish that later on. You
Well,
haven't
at the
been listening.
time, Sam, for all anybody knew, he was a hopeless drunk. He was, Sam. Oh, you're so wonderful and trusting. But I do wish that you'd understand this. He was a hopeless drunk.
For the last time, Effie, he didn't really drink.
I'll just type this up, Sam, while you call the bank.
I'll do that.
A final reminder, friends. Whether you're going on a long vacation trip or just a weekend to the beach, be sure you've got a bottle and tube of Wild Root Cream Oil tucked away in your suitcase. Do this, and you'll find it's easy and quick to spruce up again after stepping out of the water or off the tennis court. For no matter where or when you use it, Wild Root Cream Oil grooms your hair neatly and naturally, relieves dryness, removes loose dandruff. So at home and away from home, help yourself to handsome hair with Wild Root Cream Oil. And next time you have a chance, ask your barber for a professional application of Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first.
Well, here it is, Sam. I hope it was worth the price of the paper and carbons.
You made carbon copies of that? An unimportant report like that?
It bounced?
What a waste of carbon paper. Sam Spade points out, what a waste of carbon paper. Yeah, and I'm going to interrupt because this is a debate between two different detectives. So anyways, almost done. Then we could wind it up. But let's vote. It's close. It's pretty close. I'm a little shocked. It is closer than I thought it would be. So yeah, let's end this show.
Well, the estate isn't settled yet.
Oh, Sam, you're so wonderful and trusting.
Effie, I am not wonderful and trusting. I am a hard-boiled private eye.
I know. Just a pity there's no money in it.
And I'm also two-fisted.
Sam, have you ever thought of ceramics?
Of what?
Ceramics. It takes virtually no capital. All you need is a small furnace and some clay. And if you don't have any talent, you can just make ashtrays.
Thanks, I already have one.
Oh, flower pots are fun. You can pot them on a wheel.
And you can pot your hat on and wheel on out of here and also take your furnace and clay.
Oh, I love you when you're so gay and carefree.
I am not gay and carefree.
You are a hard-boiled private eye.
He is a hard-boiled private eye.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, and sue me for your back salary, sweetheart.
The Adventures of Sam Spade, Dashiell Hammett's famous private detective, are produced and directed by William Spear. Sam Spade is played by Howard.
Okay, so there you go. The Happy Plague Doctor. I don't see how carbon paper is clever. I didn't say it was clever. Sometimes you're just a smartass, Plague Doctor. I'm not sure why. It's just your character. I had you on my show, dude. I had you on my show. We talked. I'm not sure what the deal is all the time. The point wasn't carbon paper. It was the line. It was the way he said it. Of all things he says, carbon paper. The way he said it. That was the point. Anyways, moving on. It's a shame I got to babysit children all the time. Then people pop in and say, why are you interrupting the show? Watch the title. The title of this stream is Battle of the Old-Time Radio Detectives. Johnny Dollar versus Sam Spade. You decide. What don't people get? I don't get it. Anyways, am I too blunt? Let's see. Yeah, I can't wait to get to Sherlock Holmes, that's for sure. Hello, Peter Wernicke. Good to see you. But yeah, so there you go. Let's see. So again, my choice, just me personally. I love the thug, the hard-boiled dames, one-liners, cracks that Sam Spade does it for me. I love him. I love the two characters, him and Effie. Don't get upset about carbon paper. No, it's the way you say it. Happy Plague Doctor. It's the same reason you've been put in timeout a couple of times. Please just chill and have fun and enjoy the channel, man. That's all I ask, yeah? Poetic Justice, hello, you are perfect. Thank you, Poetic Justice. I really appreciate it. And tonight, you know what, we do have, and it looks like one more vote. Somebody vote. John St. Pierre, what's going on, man? Did you vote? Sam Spade or Johnny Dollar? We are at 99 votes for the stream. 56 to Johnny Dollar, who I guess is going to win, and Sam Spade. But for me, it's the tough, hard-boiled detective that I love, and it is what it is. Everybody loves different. I mean, Johnny Dollar, he's got the story. He's got the storylines. I get it. Overall, the stories and the plots are a little deeper for Johnny Dollar. But yeah, I vote Sam Spade all the way. One more vote to 100. So yeah, if we can get there. But overnight tonight, this is your FBI first stream. I can't believe there's over 300 episodes, and this is going to be the first stream of This Is Your FBI. So very good stories. Okay, I'll just Jared Reeves and thanks for putting up for the buffering and everything. I still got to figure that out tonight. I'm going to look into it. Sam Spade is like Nick Charles. Okay. Ted, for me it is Bob. I tell you, it was pretty close. I'm a little shocked at how close it did get. 45% to Sam Spade. 100 votes. 45 went to Sam Spade. I will end the poll right there because we know Johnny Dollar is going to win. And Johnny Dollar wins. 100 votes. Sam Spade with 44% and Johnny Dollar with 55%. I think this was pretty cool. I think this was very interesting. Not sure what I'm going to do next week. Maybe some Sherlock Holmes, right? Sherlock Holmes against that's a tough one. I'm gonna figure out what I'm going to do. Peter Wernicke, I love the room you're in tonight, Dino. Thank you. This is probably going to be the permanent room. I just have to figure out this darn streaming stuff. I do not understand why it keeps messing up. But I am going to use different software. I'm sick and tired of OBS. There's no reason it should do this. So, Emily Thompson, I love this tonight. We get to see you. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Closer than I expected. Yes, RTN. 100%. I did not expect it to be that close between the two. I thought Johnny Dollar would be like 70% or something like that. But there's people like me who like Sam Spade and love that kind of talk. I'm not so in. Don't get me wrong. The stories, the plot, I love it all. But give me that witty, charismatic, tough guy when it comes to the noir style of the detectives back in the day. And that's what I like. That's what I want in my detectives. Although, on other days, like Tracy said too, you may be in the mood for a little bit laid back Johnny Dollar, you know what I mean, with the story and just sitting through, especially the 15-minute episodes, which I've been playing lately, quite a few again, putting them in there. So, it just depends on what you're in the mood for. M says Mike Hammer. Mike Hammer. Detective series back in the 80s? Am I wrong? I think that's what you're saying. Thank you guys. Thank you, Dino and Mods. Healing thoughts and positive vibes to all. Peace and kids. By the way, tomorrow, late night coffee talk with Tracy and Lisa. They have gotten some pictures and videos and stuff of people's pets and stuff like that. So there'll be that. There'll be me jumping in, and like we did last time, it'll be nice and fun, and we'll have a good time. So check in tomorrow at 8 p.m. for that. And trivia night on Saturday. Lots going on. Again, this will be the very first stream tonight for This Is Your FBI. Should be fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. This Is Your FBI. They're all different. Some espionage, some deal in crime. Well, they're all deal in crime of some sorts, but the stories really play out. That's why it had such a long stretch, over 300 episodes. So definitely check out This Is Your FBI tonight. And as always, if you don't like the stream for the night, which a lot of people do anyways, hey, I haven't played any of these on the show before. So there's always the playlists on the channel to check out. Whatever mood you're in for, spooky, even comedy, which once I get all this computer stuff figured out, there'll be more comedy going up. I'll have a little bit more time to get some more comedy streams up, okay? Either on this channel or Dino's Duck Soup. So either way, you will be getting some more content. Nice streams. Reminds me of film class when we talked about scenes. Yeah, I think this was kind of a test. I've never done anything like this before, but I figured why not? And why not play an episode of each and kind of talk about it as we go a little bit, and you guys could kind of debate too and compare and contrast, because that's what it's all about when we're battling, Battle of the Detectives. So I think this went over well, other than my buffering in the middle. And I'll figure that out. And because something's wrong with the settings in this, and I'm switching. So Dino, I PM you on Discord. Thank you, Connie. I will check it out. Thank you. If you guys do need to get a hold of me, you guys can always get a hold of me on Discord if you're part of the Patreon and channel membership. Yes, so if FBI isn't my thing, I can keep chipping away at the same Spade playlist. Yes, Janine Eastman. Yes. Love the new analysts and discussion of shows, Dino. Thank you. I'll be joshing. Yeah, no, definitely going to have more of this. Every Monday, I think I'm going to do this. This is going to be an ongoing series, and you guys decide. And it's going to be interesting to see putting certain ones up. I mean, Johnny Dollar's Top Dog. I knew that's what it was going to be, so that's why we went right for that first. But it'll be interesting to see the other ones for sure. This was awesome. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to get ready for This Is Your FBI overnight and make sure everything goes well there. Please. Hey, another thing. Somebody mentioned they're going to go back and leave comments and stuff like that on older videos. If you do, that would be awesome. Anybody, even on this video, comment away, please. Like Vicky Alcorn, she went back about a week ago, and she left, I swear, like 40 comments on 40 different videos, and just kept going. And I'm like going, holy Moses, and responded to them all. And for some reason, YouTube, you can tell, it picked up the algorithm, and it saw that the activity was going on, because they want comments. They want the thumbs up comments and all that stuff. But Vicky Alcorn put like 40, 50 comments in 50 different videos, and I was like, thank you. And the algorithm kind of, boop, spiked up. And I'm like, so if you guys can do that, if you guys remember, it just takes a second once the stream stops to just do a comment real quick. If you liked it, whatever, and stuff like that. So Tim Clary, Dino, this has been the best discussion. Thank you. Fun stream. Thanks, Dino, Mark M. Thank you all. I dig it all. Keeps life rolling. Yep. You got a hit, kind of. Okay, well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. So with that said, peace and love as always. Yes, RTN. Much love to the family. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the